I seen Dwight Howard in a pink dress, bro.
What?
I seen Dwight Howard in a pink dress with two other trans ladies in dresses. They all the same height at a Diddy party.
Oh.
Ask about Dwight Howard in Mexico.
What's up with Dwight Howard in Mexico?
You know, they don't got paparazzi out there like that. You feel me? They was down there hooping.
Why the hell do you or anybody care who the hell I spend my time with? That's the problem with y'all people. Y'all worried about who people spend their time with. Whatever I'm doing in my bedroom is my damn business.
Do you think that Dwight is straight, gay, bisexual? How would you define it?
I just think he's a little bit freaky. I think he's that entire alphabet.
An NBA champion, an 8-time All-Star, and a 3-time Defensive Player of the Year, Dwight Howard may be a lot of things, but he's definitely not an honest man. He's been slammed with lawsuits by young men for taking advantage of them, and just when Dwight thought the storm had passed, he got the real slap in the face. Enter a former bodyguard who is painting an even messier picture. Diddy parties, trans women, drugs, and NDAs. Chilly. You're going to want to sit down for this one because this dude ain't messing around. He's got serious receipts. And if my name was Dwight Howard, I'd be looking for a private island to run off to right now. Did Dwight really party with Diddy, of all people? And what sick rituals did the bodyguard leak that involved trans women? Let's find out.
Yeah, I'm not gay, so it's a lot of people who are.
Meet Big Homie CC. Found yourself with a woman passed out in your hotel room, or got a body you need to get rid of? Then he's the man to call, or at least he was. These days, he's been going around spilling the deets about what he saw while protecting some A-list celebrities. And one name that keeps popping up is Dwight Howard, second only to Diddy and Busta Rhymes. The former bodyguard was asked about his experiences with Diddy during his interview with Cam Capone News, and here's what he had to say.
Son Diddy, have you ever worked with Diddy? Have you ever met Diddy?
I met him a couple times. I definitely worked with him. But everything everybody said, I've been saying for years, bro. I've been saying it for years. Like, man, these boys are weird. You feel me? Like, you will go to a party with them, and you looking around like, damn, like, a lot of guys kissing each other in here, man. You feel me? What y'all do is y'all business.
So you've been to a party and seen this?
Oh, I've seen it firsthand, multiple times.
He confirmed what most folks already know. Diddy holds the freakiest parties on planet Earth. In Big Homie's words, he went to a Diddy party while bodyguarding Bobby Valentino, and here's the picture he's painting. Dancers in cages, lions, women with no clothes on serving drinks. Now, word on the street is that a lot of celebrities attend these parties. Some names that have popped up so far include Clive Davis, Meek Mill, and Jay-Z, but no one was expecting Dwight Howard. Yet, here we are, thanks to Big Homie.
I seen Dwight Howard in a pink dress, bro.
What?
I seen Dwight Howard in a pink dress with two other trans ladies in dresses. They all the same height at a Diddy party.
Oh.
Ask about Dwight Howard in Mexico.
What's up with Dwight Howard in Mexico?
You know, they don't got paparazzi out there like that. You feel me? They was down there hooping.
Big Homie also said that Dwight going to trans parties is the reason why he is not in the league anymore. Apparently, upper management is not a fan of how he spends his free time, and no team wants to deal with the media storm that Dwight seems to have a knack for landing himself in, again and again. Based on what Big Homie's been telling folks, Dwight may not exactly be shooting straight. He doesn't just get down with men and trans women, but he may secretly like dressing up as one as well. Like, I'm sorry, you do you, but attending a Diddy party in a pink dress? Yeah, you got some explaining to do, and if you think this man is looking to be the next Gene Deal, then boy, do you need a faster internet connection. A man named Stephen Harper recently stepped forward to expose Dwight, and honestly, the documents make you want to do a double take, because it's almost like you're reading one filed against Diddy. Harper accused the player of mistreatment, false imprisonment, and intentional infliction of emotional distress. But Stephen stepped into the ring armed for battle. A bunch of screenshots between him and Howard, and his story was solid. Speaking of which, the texts are a real roller coaster. I mean, who imagined the 3-time Defensive Player of the Year saying, "Now I want you to know I'm not like gay or anything, I'm just all nasty sometimes. I don't want to offend you." These two first linked up on Instagram, as most people do. One thing led to another, and before Harper knew it, he ended up at Howard's Atlanta mansion. So far, everything was according to plan. There was just one problem. Dwight had invited a man dressed as a woman, Kitty, to the party, and he wanted the three of them to do the deed together. But Harper didn't sign up for any of that. It wasn't his kind of party. But did Dwight take that into account? Well, we wouldn't be here if he did. Apparently, Howard forced Harper to act against his wishes. After the encounter, Harper walked away with trauma for life, and he decided to make Dwight pay for it with a lawsuit. But it wouldn't be a scandal if Dwight came clean. His lawyers tried to paint a different picture, saying, in short, the totality of the text messages between Mr. Howard and Mr. Harper make it abundantly clear that Mr. Harper's claims are frivolous, that he was a willing participant in the events of July 19, 2021, and the early morning hours of July 20, 2021. They also said, this is nothing more than a classic case of unrequited love. After one consensual evening together, Mr. Howard was no longer interested in keeping Mr. Harper's company. There's just one problem. Harper isn't the only person who wants Howard behind bars for mistreating him. If you were on the internet back in 2019, you'll remember one name that made the NBA player's life that much harder, Mason L. He slammed Howard for everything that he put him through. Apparently, the two had a romantic relationship. But then Mason found out about Dwight sleeping with a trans woman and wanted out. But the player and his pastor made life a living hell for him online. The lawsuit said, Mr. L began receiving threats to his safety and well-being via a multitude of phone calls, text messages, communications on various social media platforms, and emails, all of which were from unfamiliar or disguised sources. Dwight apparently wanted him to sign an NDA so he wouldn't spill the deets about the skeletons in his closet to the media, but Mason wasn't about to let an NDA stop him. He aired Dwight's dirty laundry on Twitter, writing, "So this is how that conversation went. Typical guy lying. I didn't mind cheating, but you're allegedly at transgender parties sticking your you-know-what in everyone. Okay. Magic Johnson 2.0 with amnesia, with an audio clip as proof." But L was no pushover. He couldn't simply let Howard get away with what he had done, so he filed a lawsuit against the basketball player. And guess what Howard said? Well, he pulled an old one from the book on how to deal with these kinds of allegations. He straight up denied knowing Mason, in the first place, exactly what Diddy did. But unfortunately for Howard, simply saying, "No, that's not true," doesn't fend off curious reporters and enraged fans. Interviewers seized the opportunity to ask Dwight about the situation, and here's what he had to say.
I went through a situation last year that kind of it really just set me free.
Okay.
The situation was an allegation with, a guy who said it ended up being a situation that went viral. People were talking about it, and it upset me because I didn't even know who the person was. I'm like, why would somebody who I've never met, never had any contact with, make up a whole story about me? And I saw all the hate, the pure hate from people that I've never met before, just pile up everywhere I went against me. And I think that liberated me, because I saw how a lot of people would feel, whether they're gay, whether they're straight, whether they have issues. People are afraid to be who they are.
Well, he can keep playing that card, but the people who know the truth are going to keep speaking the truth. Mason has never taken back his claims. When the sports world was losing its mind over Harper's lawsuit, one man had a peaceful sleep for once, Mason Elidge. He tweeted, I slept so good last night, the best sleep I had in 4 years, haha, after the allegations hit the internet. He also tweeted, that's dope that Dwight Howard finally came out of the closet and admitted out of his own mouth that he likes men and enjoys engaging in transgender parties. What a coincidence. Mason didn't spare Dwight on IG either, writing, the only reason I decided to break my agreement and laugh publicly today is because after all these years and assumptions that I lied, after all these blogs tried to ruin my name and cover for him, it finally comes out that he goes to trans parties and takes advantage of younger men, which was originally why he forced and tried to intimidate me into signing an NDA, which made me speak out in 2018. On that note, for some people, reading about Howard in the news was not the biggest shock in the world. Former NFL safety Ryan Clark had a good idea about Dwight being on the DL. During a sit-down on the Pivot podcast, Clark said, a man is accusing Dwight Howard of mistreatment. In the sports world, that's been rumored forever. That has been something that people have said about Dwight and not something that I would utter publicly. And who's a better source than the man's own girlfriend? When asked about Dwight's sexuality, she said she wasn't sure, but he did get up to some freaky stuff as far as she knew. Apparently, he asked her to bring other women into the bedroom during their relationship, if you get what we mean.
Do you think that Dwight is straight, gay, bisexual? How would you define it?
I just think he's a little bit freaky. Sorry. I'm sorry. I think he's that entire alphabet.
Okay.
Yeah.
The whole alphabet.
I think he's that whole alphabet. I don't even want to start it because I don't know all of them, but like, I think he's curious.
However, she did catch Dwight partying like there was no tomorrow during the pandemic, and let's just say she was scarred for life. For starters, the guest list was diverse.
Of parties, and we're supposed to be on quarantine. So that was an issue in itself because who are these people? Why are they here? You know, have they been tested? You're saying the world is ending, but yet you're inviting the world over. And it was all types of people. Every pronoun was there.
It looked like an episode of Euphoria, but with adults, and much worse.
Because it's people throwing up over the balcony. Like, you got others cursing each other out, calling each other, and then, so I walk in the house, and that's when I see all the paraphernalia on the table, some with peanut butter, and I lose it. And then there's a girl who just peed in a seat. And then, like, I don't even know if Kitty was there. I might have met Kitty. I don't know. I met a lot while I was there.
But finding Dwight and figuring out what was happening wasn't the first thing on Roy's mind. Her son was in the house and Howard was out of his mind, which meant that in a house full of strangers with all kinds of illegal substances going around, somewhere Roy's kid was sitting by himself, doing God knows what. And just like that, Roy's instincts as a mother kicked in lightning fast.
I just went upstairs and I found Braylon, and he was in like this room connected to his room with a TV. And I'm like, hey, hi, mommy. I'm like, you okay? He was like, yeah. And I'm like, what's wrong? Nothing. And I'm like, what's wrong? Nothing. And I had to keep asking him. And then he finally told me that he went downstairs to get something to eat. He wanted a snack. And I remember grabbing him and being like, did you take anything off that table? And he swore no. But I asked him so many times because I needed it to be reiterated like so many times to me. And he just swore no.
Roy took her kid back to the guest house and went out to give an earful to the party guests. To make things worse, one of the guests threatened to shoot up the place the next day for some reason. And that convinced Roy about what she needed to do next. She packed her bags, picked up her kid, gave Dwight the middle finger, and walked out. She wasn't about to put up with child endangerment. Oh, and if you're wondering if Howard beat himself up over Roy leaving with his kid like that, well, he was high during that conversation, so we're going to say that's a big fat no. FYI, Howard doesn't exactly treat his baby mama the right way either. Roy has been calling out Dwight for his BS for a while now. She gave birth to their son back in 2007, but there was a point where she didn't want to do it at all. She recounted the horrors of that time, saying, I get emotional sometimes talking about it because I remember how adamant I was about not wanting to keep him. I was told I couldn't put his name on the baby registry. I was told that you couldn't put the father's name. I couldn't put the last name on my baby shower invitations. His baby mama also put him in his place after he posted a video of himself motivating kids.
Come on! I can't! Come on! Come on! Come on! I can't do it! No, I can't! Come on! What do you want me to do?
Don't worry about that. I want you to do it till I tell you to stop.
What?
Go, start! Let's go! Come on. Come on. Pick it up. Pick it up. That's it. That's it.
I can't!
Let's go!
This is too hard!
Let's go!
It's too hard!
Okay. Can't even go harder than the last six. Good job.
She wrote, not someone pretending to be a parent for one day out of 365 for the cameras. Don't make Thursdays turn into True Thursday. Oh, and guess what? Dwight might just win the award for the worst parenting ever as well. Apparently, he told his son he was gay for not watching adult videos. For context, his son was only 12 years old. Sir, I'm sorry, but I don't think a 12-year-old should be watching those kinds of videos in the first place. Here's what Roy said while taking shots at him. "This man is evil. Y'all fall for it every time. Ask him why he's telling a 12-year-old he's gay, 'cause he hadn't touched anything or watched videos with him. And get this. Apparently, after Cassie rocked the industry by filing a lawsuit against the man who made her life a living hell for years, Roy started thinking about going down the same road. However, she knows that a settlement won't give her the peace that she wants. On that note, it'll be a cold day in hell before Dwight admits to what goes on in his bedroom. When the air was buzzing with news of him dabbling in freaky stuff, Howard put his haters in place by jumping on an IG Live.
Why the hell do you or anybody care who the hell I spend my time with? That's the problem with y'all people. Y'all worried about who people spend their time with. Whatever I'm doing in my bedroom is my damn business.
At times, he straight up refused to answer interviews as well.
Now, you're going viral, bro. It's a lot of things. So I just gotta ask for the people. Me personally, I don't give a right? But they say this is the safest time. Are you gay, bro?
Is this what you want to talk about?
No, I don't want to talk about that,
So
bro.
then why are we talking about it?
Because you went viral for that, bro.
I've
So
been viral for a lot of things.
and I want to talk about that too.
And what I do in my personal life is nobody.
Thank you. Thank you. I just want you to answer that.
No, I keep going. It's
Right.
nobody business.
Right.
And if you inquire, why?
Notice how he put up a wall? Yeah, well, Bowie's got a few words of advice for him. He told him to drop the charade and face up to what he had done.
Tell them, confess to the press.
Confess to the press.
Confess to the press, man. Stop playing, man. Real shit, man. You like that?
Yeah.
Confess to the press.
Let's make one thing clear. No one cares about Dwight being gay. He can do whatever he wants in his bedroom. But when you're mistreating people, and it's in the papers, now that's everyone's business.
It's a bunch of people out there that you hear might be homosexual. I honestly don't care.
No, it doesn't. It's not a big thing.
You know what I'm saying? And that's the funny thing about this. I'm more concerned with the legal side of it. What did he force himself upon it? Is there assault in this case? I'm never surprised when somebody's homosexual. I wouldn't say anybody I know, my homeboys, I'll never be surprised.
However, with the recent allegations hitting the internet, sports fans have lost sight of what's important. They've made the entire thing about Howard being outed from the league because of his sexuality, instead of focusing on the fact that he may have mistreated someone. Inter-rapper Maze said it best. People will say, it don't matter. But as soon as they find out, it matters. So, they're outing them. When it comes down to making money off the story, it matters. When it comes down to who's dating you, it's going to matter. When it comes down to if you're going to be in the locker room with them, it matters. There's about 30 teams who didn't sign Dwight Howard because it matters. There's a reason why the conversation took this turn. Howard has always sold himself as an honest Christian, following God's words. He grew up Christian in Atlanta and attended the private Southwest Atlanta Christian Academy. He felt like he had to live up to the expectations of a perfect Christian celebrity even when the burden was too heavy to carry at times. Back in 2016, Dwight said, "My mission was to preach God's word in the NBA, use the NBA as a platform for God. There's times where it was very overwhelming. It was like, man, this is so much that everything is at my disposal. All I got to do is just go reach, and it's mine." But 5 kids with 5 different women, none of whom he married, doesn't exactly speak Christian. Neither does partying with Diddy and taking advantage of men. With that out of the way, fans think Dwight is definitely the type of guy to attend a Diddy party. The NBA player recently posted a video of himself dancing to some tunes while vacationing in Mexico. He probably thought nothing of the video before posting it, but head to the comment section and you'll witness absolute chaos. Fans think with those moves, Dwight was definitely hanging around Diddy. One person wrote, he pulled up to Diddy's house no problem, while another wrote, I guarantee Diddy is on that island too. Go back to the start of this video and you'll catch Big Homie urging everyone to ask Dwight about what went down in Mexico. Apparently there aren't many pops there, so Dwight felt like he could do whatever he wanted. Big Homie didn't say exactly what, but we can make a pretty good guess at this point. With all that said, Dwight's days ahead don't look so bright. Even his ex-girlfriend doesn't have much hope for him. She said, I believe as a collective, they don't care for him. I think it's just the drama in general. You're talking about a billion-dollar industry and someone who is bringing all this drama into that environment. And it's not good drama, like Travis Kelce dating Taylor Swift. With all the facts on the table, Dwight going to trans parties, participating in freak-offs, mistreating his girlfriend, and taking advantage of other people, there's no mistake he learned from the man himself. But it looks like the master forgot to teach the student some lessons, specifically on how to avoid being in the headlines. If he had, Dwight might not be public enemy #1 right now. As for fans, most of them can't wrap their heads around how one person could treat others this way, and don't get us started on endangering your own kid. One person commented, "I don't care if Dwight is straight or gay. No man should have a party like that with your kids in the house." But what do you think of the situation? Do you think Dwight's guilty of partying with Diddy? Did he also participate in freak-offs? Or is there the slightest chance that he's innocent? Let us know in the comment section below.